Welcome to another episode of the Executive Hub, the show that helps you grow your business with simple tips and the strategies from successful entrepreneurs. This episode is brought to you by TriggerVox. Ever wish someone could answer your calls, talk to leads, and book appointments while you work? That's what TriggerVox AI does. It talks like a real person and never takes a day off. So, to see how it works and to get a free trial, visit TriggerVox.ai. That's TriggerVox.ai. So, my guest today is REBL Risty. Let me add REBL back to the show. Welcome, REBL.
Hi.
Good to see you. Today, we're talking about why 90% of marketers are using AI the wrong way, as I think AI is a hot topic these days. And
It
I think
sure
it's gonna
is.
be it's gonna be a great conversation. So let me do the proper introduction to REBL and we'll dive into it. REBL Risty is a leading voice in AI-driven marketing and the founder of REBL Marketing and REBL Labs, two powerhouse ventures transforming how marketers approach content strategy, creation, and scale. With over 20 years of experience in branding, messaging, and growth strategy, REBL now focuses her expertise on helping businesses harness AI and automation to do more with less without sacrificing quality, creativity, or connection. Through REBL Labs' AI-powered platform, hands-on workshops, and her podcast, REBLutionize Your Marketing with AI, she is helping a new generation of marketers move from content chaos to strategic, scalable systems powered by automation. REBL, great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. How's your day so far?
Good, good. I was saying earlier, it's a little slow today, so I'm excited to talk to someone.
Oh yeah, great. I could always use a um, slow day. I was talking to my buddy yesterday. And I was like, I'm a little burnt out. I probably need to get out of town, get some fresh air and maybe spend some time in the mountains just to
Yeah,
recover.
yeah, I know. It's so busy, and I feel like in our world of technology, and we're going to talk a little bit about AI today, it feels like everything's speeding up even faster. So, yes, it's nice to have a slow day.
Absolutely. Whereabouts
I'm
are
in
you?
San Diego, California.
Beauty. And what's it like out
It
there
is
right now?
beautiful, of course. We do live in paradise. June gloom seems to be
Right.
over, so we're enjoying it.
Beauty. So let's dive into it. What is your
Oh,
story?
my story, gosh. So I've kind of always had an entrepreneurial spirit, even when I was a kid. My sister and I would set up, like, the lemon stand up in the front yard, with our parents' help. And I always was looking for ways to make money. We didn't get allowance, so we had to do things like clean the garage and clean the bathroom and find ways to get our parents to pay us. Or when I was in high school, sold frozen food, to pay for my band trip. So things like that. So I was kind of entrepreneurial at heart. And my husband and I both invest in real estate. So we have some real estate properties. And Rebel is my fourth company. I actually had a professional Polynesian entertainment firm for several years with some of my friends. You wouldn't look at me now and know it, but I was a professional Polynesian dancer, as well as I worked full-time jobs and doing stuff on the side. When you're 25, you can do those types of things. Also, we owned a small franchise fast food restaurant, which did not do well, and actually put us in bankruptcy, and that's a whole nother story. And then finally
Oh
landed
yeah.
with REBL Marketing. And our latest venture, I started REBL Labs, which is our AI and automation firm, where we're focusing fully on how to help our clients and other marketers utilize AI and automation in their marketing.
Beauty. So how did you get into AI and AI labs and what was the onset of that
Well, I've
company?
always been curious on how to leverage technology. So a couple of years ago, when AI really started getting interesting for everybody, I took it upon myself to start learning what I could learn. And God, time goes so fast. Last year, we decided to onboard ourselves onto a CRM called Go High Level. And we hired
Yep.
another agency to do that for us. And the owner of that agency just kept bringing up AI. And he's like, you have to join my mastermind. There's so much going on. So I joined his mastermind. And that's what really opened my eyes when I was learning from him all of the things that he was doing and implementing in his agency, what we could leverage. Just really shout out to Steve, like he was sharing so much. And so I said, we're going to do the same. And along with my team, kind of kicking and screaming, they came with me. And so now we've actually built out our own proprietary platform that integrates different tools like Perplexity, Chat, Claude, Gamma. And we're trying to make it easy for other marketers because I know not everyone's as jazzed about AI as I am, but they do need to figure out how to use it, whether they're going to learn to implement it and build it out themselves or find other tools that are out there and integrate them. And what I love is I've joined a couple of groups, and one of them is a huge automation group. And from there, I've been learning on how we can use simple tools like Zapier and Make, NAN to automate your processes and use the best tools and pull them together, which is where the real magic
Yep.
is. And then, of course, now we're coming onto the forefront of agentic AI and AI agents. So it's just evolving so quickly, and I'm excited to be a part of that.
Beautiful. So what does your company do, and who do you serve?
So, our traditional REBL marketing is more full service. Our focus there is really marketing strategy, branding and messaging, and creative content. And then what REBL Labs does is really enhances all of that with our focus there on how to build out platforms and automations. We do custom automations and leverage different tools within that for our fellow marketers and other small businesses. I do mostly, our clients are in the professional B2B professional services space, but other marketers, agency owners are really where REBL Labs helps service them, because we're really taking those that kind of already had a marketing strategy and they're ready to implement and use the right tools, but they may not know which ones to use or how to use them or really even know where to start. And with REBL Labs, we're doing everything from doing workshops. I just did a custom GPT and Cloud Projects and Gemini Gems workshop last week. We're doing custom automation, make builds. We've got a really great partner that helps us with that. And then our own proprietary platform, which right now creates the best like long format SEO, keyword driven blog content, which then we can turn into social media posts that are keyword driven, newsletters, emails, marketing pieces. It's just once you start, it really can flower into so many other things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's a lot that you guys are covering there, like from workshop automation, SEO, newsletters, emails,
Yeah.
the whole shebang. How big is
I
your
have a team
team?
of 5. So, and a development
Oh yeah.
partner, and we've got social media specialist. My marketing manager is demand gen, SEO specialist, and then of course we work with a number of different AI partners and automation development partners that help us really create all of that. And then me, I'm the lead strategist, and I'm StoryBrand certified. So my superpower really is messaging and marketing strategy. But I love all the tools and figuring this out with my team. And part of what we're doing is because AI is evolving so quickly, we're just learning as we go. And as I get out there and I talk to more people and we're talking to clients, and they kind of all have the same pain points. At the end of the day, AI is a tool, and their pain point is trying to get marketing to work for them, trying to generate more business, having clear
Hmm.
messaging, having a marketing strategy, whatever that may be. AI just happens to be the tool that we prefer to use to help them with it.
Oh yeah. Um, Interesting. What are the type of different customers that you guys work with?
Finance and accounting, CPA firms, insurance, attorneys. I always say the really sexy industries, but they're solid. They're great industries. B2B professional services in general have a harder time telling their story because they don't have a widget or a thing that's, got these features. Their story is really about them and their team and how they can differentiate against their competition. And so that's where we really come in and help them. And then by developing that strategy and the storyline and helping them figure out their messaging, then we can take AI and turn that into the content, their videos. We've even started using AI avatars. We've got one client that's very happy with them because she does not like speaking on camera. So she's very happy that we could just do a few short video clips with her live and then take those and turn those into AI avatars that sound like her. Of course, with her permission, we're using her likeness and her voice, and we can create content, and she doesn't have to work as hard to create it.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
know,
that
it's
awesome?
crazy. It's crazy how
Like,
well these avatars.
like you could have someone create content for you with like you
Yeah,
in it, uh, like talk about your stuff, your services, a story, this and that, and you could pump out a ton of
yeah,
content,
yeah.
and you're not even you're
Nope.
not even you're not
It's
even in
kind
there.
of an executive's dream, like a busy executive's dream. Let's face it, most of us don't like to be on camera, and it's hard, and it takes time. You got to practice. And so now we can skip all of that and go straight to the video. And we know that because video is still one of the most powerful formats of content. And even so, more
Yeah,
with the large language models, we're seeing that part of where they're gathering their information to provide that data back to you is they are leveraging YouTube, and they're looking at videos, and they're able to digest that information and then bring it back up to the person who's doing the search or who's asking questions through chat or Claude, for example. So YouTube video is just as important as it always was, if not going to be even more important. So figuring out how to produce video
100%.
is important.
You know what? I know that a lot of people would rather die than to be in a video or on social media and be exposed. So I think that AI piece
Yeah.
is solving a big,
Yeah,
big
it
problem.
is.
Like,
Even if you looked at my feed on LinkedIn or Facebook, you'll see some of our AI videos. We clearly state that this was produced by AI, but we were, for example, promoting the workshop last week, and I just didn't have time to do all the videos. So our social media coordinator, she's great at video and editing. She loves doing the AI. We use HeyGen and VidIO, and we're trying AI studios as well. And she does such a great job, and she just goes in, she writes the script. I honestly don't even approve them anymore. And sometimes I see myself, I'm like, did I film that or did I not?
I said that,
Like, did I film that?
or your friends would see, your friends would see, be like, "There's some new
I
stuff
know.
you're saying."
Well, even
That
my
doesn't
coach, she was giving me some feedback. I'm a business coach in Canada. And she was saying, Reb, I think that you might try sitting a little differently and doing this. And I go, that's an AI video. And she goes, no. She was completely fooled.
yeah. That's amazing. Love it. Um, give us an example of a client you work with. What was their challenge, and how did you help
Oh
them?
gosh. Probably our biggest client right now, I don't know, I should say their name, but they started off kind of roughly. I actually worked with her at a previous company, and long story short, she left that company abruptly, and wanted to start her new company right away. And we actually spun up a logo, a brand, messaging, a website, socials, everything in less than 30 days. It was pretty crazy. I mean, she was on fire. And I think that's such a memorable one because you don't think that you can actually build a whole brand, in 30 days. But she really was on fire, and we said, let's do it. And she had a theme, and we ran with it with the ocean and beach. And those were some fun days where, you're building something from scratch, and it just feels like you really own everything. And that was really fun too.
All right.
Um,
So it was 3
30
days or
days,
30
30 days.
days?
Yeah. Under 30 days.
30 days. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's totally possible with AI, and I know people are building apps, full-fledged working apps in like a
Yeah,
few hours,
yeah,
and they start
yeah.
selling,
The
you know?
no code programs are pretty impressive. Although I would say I think you still
Oh,
need
yeah.
somewhat of a technical background, or you're going to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta know what you're doing. But, I mean, if a guy or a girl, someone that knows what they're doing, they start working with, say, the Claude, you literally could have, like, a working app within a day. Everything A to Z. And like, look, even the video editing that you're doing, like, the AI videos that you're doing, that you give it a script and then boom, it pumps out a video. That used to take weeks of editing and shooting and the rest of it. But now within a few minutes, boom, you have a
yeah,
new video.
yeah. It's amazing what AI is doing. Although, I caution. I think you named this why 90% of marketers are using AI wrong. There's two pieces to that. One being that they think that AI can do everything. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people do is they will, dump all kinds of stuff into chat and then expect it to come out with a plan and a strategy and understand what the heck that is you want. And it just doesn't work that way. You really have to
Hmm.
just, even if you're doing the no code stuff, you have to have some kind of a technical background or go learn how to do it. Um, and so it just comes back for me is, do you have a good strategy? Do you understand what your messaging is? Can you, any AI tool right now, you still have to give it a lot of data and guidance. We talk about, have a role. What's the output? How do you want it to speak? You need to teach it. That was part of what I did in this workshop. And actually, I was working with one of the gentlemen from the workshop on a one-on-one, and he just wanted to create a chat GPT for his newsletter. And he'd been using the free version and it was working okay. But what we did is we upgraded him to a paid chat account. And then I simply set it up. And so we did things. And this is a trick that I don't know if people know a lot, but when you're setting up a custom GPT and you're inputting the instructions, you can just honestly just kind of verbally dump following the rules. What's its role? So ours was, you are a nationally renowned email newsletter writer for nonprofits. So he runs a nonprofit. Your job is to help the CEO write the monthly newsletter in these categories, targeting this audience. And we just took it and then we said, chat, how can we write better instructions for you? What questions do you have for us? And so we just dumped those few lines of sentence in there. And then it asked us about 10 questions. We went through, we answered them together. And then it gave us this really nice set of instructions that really now better understands who an audience is, the voice, the tone he likes to, what he likes to speak about, things like that. We uploaded his ebook materials, and so we played with it. We said, hey, write the July newsletter. He was so ecstatic. He was so happy. It did the whole newsletter in all the sections that he likes. The tone was right on. I mean, he still had to go in and tweak and play with it, but he said, Reb, you saved me hours, because he spends hours every month writing this newsletter. It's very personal for him. It's going out for his nonprofit. And he was just ecstatic. And we did it in an hour, setting it
Oh
up.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's saving people a lot of time and money for sure.
Mhm.
Especially if, like you said, if you could upload some of your previous work, be like, this is how this, or someone else's work, be like, this is what I like. I want you to write me something similar,
Yep.
right? Or here's my writing, my tone of voice. Write or create content based on my style,
Yes,
which is great. And then you could grab
exactly.
it, edit it, and then send it out.
Yeah. And it's all about training. It's like if you're training an intern. And when you do finally get to the piece of content, the final product that you want, I always say put it back into chat and say, hey, this is where I always say landed, whatever verbiage you want to use. This is the final piece. This is exactly how I like it. Take note of this for next time when I come back to you and when we do the newsletter again or this email again.
Yes.
And it will remember that. So it is getting smarter, and it will remember your past comments and discussions and chats. So it's learning as it
100%.
goes.
Absolutely. You mentioned a few ways are, how you said people are dumping content in the chat, they're expecting miracles. What
Yeah.
are some of the mistakes that you see people are making with AI?
Yeah. So one of the things, especially with AI agents, that people need to understand, again, like the AI agent, just like a human, can't do everything. So let's say, for example, you want it to do your social media strategy. Well, you actually will want create a social media strategist, and if you really want to get crazy with it, you'll have a Facebook strategist and creator. You'll have a LinkedIn strategist and creator. You'll have a X strategist. So, and what I say with that is because when you go that deep, they actually perform a lot better because they know specifically where they need to focus and how that platform performs, and they will be super dialed in. And now you can take them and they can work together. You can do that through an automation through Make. There's also something that's starting to come out that's called GPT stacking. And that's a whole new thing that's just come out over the last couple of weeks, but you'll get such better results. What I see people doing is like, hey, here's my voice, here's my brand book, here's my business plan, here's my social media, here's all the things that I want to do in my business. Now tell me what to do. And that's where it starts to trip up, and it can't handle all that data all at once.
Interesting. So how should they go about using it?
I absolutely encourage people to create custom GPTs or Claude projects or Gemini gems. And you should start with one that has your voice. That's where I would start. I would start with one that you train is on your voice, what you like, what you don't like, how you like to speak, who your target audience is. If you're in business, if it's just personal, it could be like, do you have kids? What sports do you like? Hobbies. And this stuff might seem silly, but it really does help it to really understand who you are and how it should craft the content and put it together for you. So you and I both are skiers. So you should tell it. I love skiing. I'm a skiing instructor. You'll be so thrilled. It'll start pulling things about your skiing, or
Oh yeah.
hey, you might not even think about it, but these are one of the things that it kind of opens our mind and reminds us of who we are. And when you're, for example, trying to tell your story, I'm a marketing agency like every other marketing agency. What makes me different? Well, chat will help me remember those things that make me different. Oh, remember you like to ski, and remember this is your fifth business, and things like that. It just helps you build a better picture, because we're all so busy. It's hard to remember, especially things about ourselves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Interesting. Um, what are some of your go-to AI tools that you think other people should know about?
Chat for sure.
Hmm.
We live in chat, although we are a Google Suite agency. Sorry, Google, just haven't gotten into Gemini. Perplexity for research, definitely love Perplexity for research. I'm still on the free version. I hear the paid version is even better. Um,
I see
Gamma.
Gemini doing pretty good with research.
Yes, they have done a really good job with their deep research function. So,
Hmm.
I think between Claude, Gemini, and Chat, you're getting a really good. They're pretty comparable. I
Yep.
just happen to fall into Chat, and that's where my comfort zone is. But they all operate similarly.
Sorry,
Um,
I cut you off.
oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah.
So
So,
you said Chat GPT, Perplexity, and then I cut you off.
oh yeah, yeah. So Chat, Perplexity, obviously Claude and Gemini. One of the fun tools we've been playing is called Suno, where you can actually do AI generated music. You can
Music.
write.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. We really like
Oh
that
yeah.
one.
I've
Yeah,
used it. It's amazing.
yeah. It is. It is.
Oh god.
And VidIO is probably our favorite avatar video AI avatar creator. So we use that one a lot. Cast Magic is a fun one to take long format videos and cut it down, and it'll create lots of pieces of content for you. Um, Gamma is a cool presentation tool that we like. Chat's gotten really good at video, the not video, but images, creating images. But I think Midjourney is still probably the leader in creating like those really beautiful,
You
images.
got like I think with all of them, you got to know how to prompt. What's your like the other day I was playing with Midjourney trying to create an image, and whatever I was trying, it would not get. Maybe I was just not good at communicating what I wanted.
I
sometimes,
know. I know.
sometimes it takes me a bit to create the image that I want, but like you said, like Midjourney is creating images that are just
Oh,
mind blowing.
amazing, amazing. Yeah. My trick is honestly go into chat, tell it what you're trying to do, and say, write me a prompt for Midjourney. So for Midjourney, I actually show this in my one of my presentations. You do want to get really detailed, like the background of the forest and the color and the way the light's coming through, and kind of the motion and stuff. So I just say, dump your idea in a chat and have it write the prompt for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have done that. Like go to GPT, be like, here's what I'm trying to build, make a prompt for me so I can give it to another guy or Claude or Mid Journey or
Yep.
whatever, and then you could like edit it.
Yeah.
So great idea. Do you have any other tips for prompting?
We stick to the kind of the RAPL method, the role, the objective, the prompting is or priming. Really, that's where you're training it. You're giving it data of like you mentioned before, giving examples of maybe a writer that you like or social media that you like. The more you can give it examples of what you want it to do, the better. So that's very key, is in the priming. And then just iteration. Just know the first time is probably not going to be its best. So be ready to just iterate and work with it and go back and forth. Don't get upset. Just let it do its thing. If you get really mad, you can walk away. My other tip is, people don't know it, but if you don't know it, there is an app for your phone, and there's voice mode, and you can actually,
Okay.
hey chat, say hi to the audience. I'm on a podcast right now.
Oh, hello, everyone. It's so cool to be part of the podcast. I'm here to help answer any questions or just join in on the fun. Thanks for having me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
using that thing as a therapist.
Me too. Uh, she's a coach, she's a therapist, she's a
Yeah,
business partner. But yeah, if
absolutely,
people don't know about it, that's a fun one because you can just talk to it in real time, and it's a little more natural.
100%. Um, you know how you mentioned people are getting upset. I've seen people get upset with AI in like 30 seconds.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
was talking to my developer, and I'm like, you know that AI is writing full on apps and plugins and software and websites in like an hour. He's like, yeah, but it could get things wrong. I'm like, bro, you just give it a prompt in 30 seconds and made a mistake, but it was like it did 80% of the job in 30, no, not even 30 seconds. It's like 5 seconds. Like, give it a minute. You know,
I
like
know. I
we
know.
we literally developed a WordPress plugin that was the equivalent of 8 months of development in about
Mhm.
3 to 4 days.
God, that's crazy.
Literally.
That's crazy.
Like, and it made mistakes, and we went back. We're like, this is the error we're getting. Fix it, and then try. Sometimes it took 3 times, maybe 4 times.
Right.
Sometimes it didn't fix it, so we had to start from scratch. But we were all in like 20 minutes. You
Yeah.
cannot get upset at 20 minutes. You know,
I absolutely agree. And it is silly, right? It's like when your phone won't work or the TV won't turn on. But if you were a human and someone came back to you and said, yeah, here's all your code, you'd be thrilled. You'd be ecstatic, right?
there was this comedian. I think is Chris, the guy with the goatee. What's his name? Chris.
I don't know.
Anyway, I forgot his full name, but he was like, people. This is from a few years ago. He's like, people grab their smartphone, and then they try to dial someone across the world, and it takes 30 seconds to connect, and people are like, "Pfft." it's taking. He's like, bro, this is going across the world. Give it a minute. But now we're like writing like 6 months of code in 30 seconds. We were like, oh, it made a mistake. Like, we
Yeah,
get unreasonable from time to time.
that's for sure. We sometimes, as humans, need a break. We need to unplug.
100%. What's like the biggest thing you have done with AI where you're like, it blew your mind? Mine was developing that software in 3 days.
Yeah, probably the same. Ours didn't quite take 3 days, but building out our Rebel Labs platform and being able to integrate the tools in the way we have, I mean, the content, it really is amazing, and it's the same. What we're doing is we're having it not only do the keyword research, but then it writes the content and it's iterating it. So it does the keyword research, and then it sends it to Perplexity and does the actual, deeper research. Then it's actually iterating between Claude and Chat, and we've got it prompting and iterating on itself. That to me is the craziest part. It is
Absolutely.
learning and teaching itself through just a few simple prompts. And it could go straight posting to your website or our dashboard. You can stop and look and approve things. I think to me, putting the tools together is where I've seen a lot of the magic happen.
Oh yeah. Love it. Where do you see AI going in the next 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years? Oh my God. I don't even think I can say because it's just
Give
changing
me a
every
next
week.
year or two, because I know it's going too fast and there's too much going on.
Gosh,
Where do you see AI in the future? Let me just
in the
ask, leave it
future.
open.
I could see, like how we were kind of joking about it being our coach or our therapist. I could see it actually being able to fully license therapy, probably. Maybe we'll even see it operating like in retail through robots. I know that's crazy, but probably robots will be coming online, doing some of the manual, customer facing stuff. Like I know we've got robots that do manual work, but maybe customer facing stuff. Obviously, we're seeing it already with, uh, customer support, answering phones, things like that with voice, recognition, and they can actually have a conversation. So I think we'll probably just see more of that, and being able to do things that now we're trying, like right now, how we're piecing things back and together on the back end, but soon they probably will be a fully developed AI tool that does all of it, where you can just say,
Yeah,
hey, like to a human, go do this, and it can think, it can do multiple things and come back. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think writing code is going to be a lot easier. Like writing software, like you said, customer service, marketing, creating content is already. And you know how we're all wowed and everybody's in awe of what's happening. I think give it like, and we're still in the beginning stages of AI. I think in a 3 to 5 years, we're going to see some major things happening with AI where
Yeah.
things are
Yeah.
going to be fully automated with
Yeah.
like maybe driving, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I really look forward to self-driving cars. I really do.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. It
Hmm.
will. Our lives are changing quickly.
Um, who's had a major influence on your business journey?
Oh gosh. Uh My husband is a huge supporter. He's my number one fan on Facebook, as he points out all the time. He's a huge part of that. My good friend Jennifer Barnes, who really influenced me. She has a very successful. She's on her second multi-million-dollar business, and really influenced me to start my agency. And I would say my dad. He unfortunately passed away from cancer about 9 years ago, and he just always believed in me. And I realized when he passed away that you don't have all this time in the world that you think you do.
Yes,
And it was time. I've been kind of sitting there on the edge, wanting to do my thing, being comfortable in my corporate job. And I just really realized it was time. And so I don't regret it.
love it, love it. What's one piece of advice you have for people regarding AI?
Just try it. Yeah. Don't be scared. Just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It won't kill you, I guess.
It won't kill you.
No, try it and see what happens.
And I would say for business owners, if you don't want to use it, find somebody on your team that does.
Absolutely.
Or
And
hire
it
that
doesn't
person.
hurt. Like, you could, even for any business owner, one of the things that I've been doing with AI is sometimes I find myself struggling with something or with an idea or something I want to do, or if I have a problem, and I kind of run in the back of my head for a day or two, a week or two, and then I'm like, I finally come to my senses that there is AI. Maybe I should ask AI. I'm like, hey, AI, I have this problem. And I'd be like, give me some ideas on how to fix it. And boom, in 30 seconds, problem
Yeah.
solved. Like, why did I not go
It's
to
because
it?
it's habit. It's
You know,
habit. We have to kind of train ourselves. And I think it's a fine line. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and they were saying, is AI making people stupider? And not necessarily dumber if you already, like, as an adult, you have cognitive skills, you understand how to reason and think, and you have basic like skill sets like you and I do. But they were saying if you're younger and you haven't really built the ability to think, to reason, that AI could actually be a hindrance. So I guess what I'm saying is, as a business person, you shouldn't be afraid of it.
oh yeah,
You're going to find, if anything, I would say if you're not using it, your competition is, people on
yes.
your team should be, and that's how you're going to get better. It's a tool. It's a tool.
Even with kids, I have my kids. I give them the GPT voice chat thingy.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally walk right beside me. They're sitting in the car and they keep asking questions. As
Yeah.
curious as these kids are, like, what's the size of this population of that? How does this work? How does
Right.
that work? I'm like,
Yeah.
look, this kid is just coming up with constant questions. And now we have an easy way to answer the questions. And
Yep.
sometimes I feel like they probably won't bring up the questions to me so much, but I just watch and I sit there and I watch. I'm like, this is amazing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I don't see it
It's
making them
true.
stupid.
Yeah, it's a great tool for them. Yeah, that's what I hear a lot of people saying, is that the kids are just asking all these questions that, before they would have had to wait till hear about, or go ask a teacher or ask a parent, and now they can just immediately, they see something, they can find out what it is.
Yeah. Before that, my kids would ask me like, "Hey, can you Google this? Can you Google that?" And now that AI is out, I just give them the phone and just watch them have a conversation. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's great, and that's good.
I
They
love
should
it.
be learning how to use it in a
100%.
responsible way.
100%. Are you a reader, Rebel?
I am. I am.
Give me two of your favorite books of all time.
All time. Oh my gosh. I think on the business side, Tipping Point by Malcolm
Uh-huh.
Gladwell. That was just, to me, that was an inspiring book, but also just opens your eyes to kind of, marketing and business. And on kind of more fictional side that I enjoy for reading, I love anything that Neil Gaiman writes. Uh, the
Neil
Graveyard's one of
Gaiman?
my favorite. Neil Gaiman, yeah,
Hmm.
I just love him. He's a fiction writer. He wrote what was it? American Gods. Was it American Gods? And
American Gods.
yeah, and the Graveyard is one of my favorites. A little boy gets left in a
Graveyard.
graveyard. Um, he does really great short stories too. So he's
I
just my
haven't read a fiction for a while. I actually kind of stopped reading books. I was reading
really,
for a while. I was reading a ton of books.
yeah,
And then I got to a point where I was reading too much and there was too much information and it was like I was reading like a book a week or a book a month and I barely like implemented it, applied to a previous book, and then I started a new one. Then I'm like, I think I have enough information. I need to
yeah,
apply
yep,
what I've learned already.
yeah. My
You know,
coach used to
but
say, "Too many inputs,
too
not
much
enough
input.
outputs." Yeah,
You
too
know,
many.
and then it was making me anxious and frustrated. And then I
Mm,
looked up on it, it's like, and then the answer was, yeah, no wonder you just got too much information and you just get, yeah, because you're not getting the results out of it.
yeah,
Um, it makes you anxious and frustrated. So what my new strategy is, I read a book, I try to learn it, implement it, you know, get a grasp of what it is, and then move on to a new point, especially with some books that are fundamental,
Yeah.
for example, the book, oh god, what's the name? I'm looking at it, but I'm not seeing the title. It's Scaling Up by Vern
Oh,
Harnish.
yeah.
Right? It's a whole framework. That is not something you could learn in a week.
No, definitely not.
It takes years of practice. And I've read that book probably 3 times, and it still probably could go back and read it again.
Yeah, that's why they have
And
coaches that do that whole framework. Yeah.
100%. I like reading fiction though. Fiction gets your imagination and creativity going.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And I love fiction just because during the day, probably similar to you, we're always learning, we're reading. I'm, trying to keep up with the latest on AI and figure out my own, scenarios. So when at night, I just love fiction because I need to have that creativity and
for
go to
sure.
another world and not think about work.
100%. So what's one advice that made a big impact on your life or business?
That's a good one. It's actually when I worked at the World Trade Center, as CEO, one of my bad habits is I say yes to everything. I'm a huge people pleaser. So she had told me once I had a huge flop. I vaguely remember what it was. And she's like, "You got to stop saying yes to everything." And she gave me a line. She's like, "Let me get back to you on that." And I've always remembered it. Now, do I always implement it? Not always, but I try. I try to take a minute. Basically, she was trying to teach me, take a minute, pause. You don't have to say yes to everything, and figure out, can you really deliver on this before you say yes? If you can't, be honest and say no. So
Yeah. A book on that topic was Essentialism that helped me quite a bit. Have you
Okay.
read it?
I have not. I'll have to look that one up.
Essentialism by Greg McKeown.
Okay.
I actually recently reviewed it again with my brother. Last time we read it was 7-8 years ago, and it's a great book.
Okay.
Great book.
All right. I'll look that
That
up.
combined with the 80-20 principle from Richard Koch are like magic.
All right.
Have you read the 80-20 principle?
I haven't read that one either.
I highly recommend reading these 2 books.
Okay. Perfect.
They're amazing.
Reading material.
Yeah. Stop saying yes to everything. That's amazing advice. Amazing.
It was. And it's probably kept me out of trouble a few times.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Rebel, this has been a great conversation. Is there a question that I should have asked that I didn't?
No, like I said, I think you're the most prepared podcast that I've been on. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you've asked all the right questions. I feel like we covered a lot.
I appreciate that. Where can people that are watching or listening reach out to you and learn about your services and what you do?
Yeah, so if they're interested in AI and automation, they can go to REBL Labs, REBL Labs.ai. If they're looking for more marketing strategy and branding and messaging, that's REBL Marketing, REBL Marketing.com. And then, of course, on all the socials, I'm happy to connect. And they can always email me at rebelmarketing.com as well.
Beautiful. So the website was REBLLabs.ai, which is REBL Labs.ai.
Yep.
And REBLmarketing.com, which is REBLmarketing.com. And she is, if you search for her name, she is on LinkedIn for sure and on other platforms.
Yep.
So thank you, Rebel. Again, if you have any questions for me or Rebel, put it in the comments and we'll do our best to get back to you. Feel free to share this episode with your friends that could benefit from a little bit of knowledge on AI and maybe overcoming their fear of using AI and get their hands on a few tools and maybe reach out to Rebel for their services and products. And don't forget to check out our sponsors website, TriggerVox, which they do automate your calls for incoming and outgoing calls, the call agents. They were at TriggerVox AI and check them out and we'll go from there. You've been listening and watching another episode of the Executive Hub Show. My name is Mustafa Hosseini with my guest REBL Risty. Hope you guys have a great day and we'll see you in our next episode. Bye now.